Good morning, dear. I wish that all of you are healthy and fine. Today we will start chapter 9, which talks about multiplication and division of signed numbers. The product of two positive signed numbers. Positive means they have a plus sign. How to multiply? Observe the equality. Plus 2 times plus 7 plus 2, it's the same as 2. Plus 7, it's the same as 7. So 2 times 7 equals to 14. Then I can say that plus 2 times plus 7 equals to plus 14. We know from previous lessons that 14 can be written as plus 14. In the same way, plus 4 times plus 1.5. Here, as we said, the number without a sign is a positive number, so I can say that it's 4 times 1.5 is 6. Here we have a positive sign, and also here we have a positive sign. Our result is positive. Plus 1.75 times plus 6, it's the same as 1.75 times 6, which is 10.5. A positive number times a positive number is equals to a positive number. So what do we conclude? I have to memorize that the product means if I multiply two positive numbers by each other, they should be positive. The result will certainly be a positive number. So wherever you see plus plus sign next to each other, I can replace them by a plus sign simply because this parenthesis means that these signs are multiplied by each other, and we know that the product of two positive numbers is a positive number. Now, what's the product of two signed numbers of opposite signs? Opposite means we have plus and minus. Here, for example, 2 times minus 7. It means that I have to write minus 7 plus minus 7. Okay, here I can replace it by 2 times minus 7. Minus 7 is minus 14. 3 times minus 7. It means I can write minus 7 plus minus 7 plus minus 7. Its answer is minus 21. In the same way, we calculate 4 times minus 7. It's minus 28. 5 times minus 7. It's minus 35. Since 5 times 7 is 35, and here we have a minus sign, or I can say that I'm adding minus 7 5 times, so the result should be negative. What do you notice about the sign of each of these products? All of them here are negative. And I'm multiplying a positive number by a negative number. So 2 times minus 7 is minus 14. 2 is a positive number, while minus 7 is a negative number. Their answer is minus 14. So I can conclude that the product of two numbers with opposite signs is always a negative number. So wherever you see plus times minus or minus times plus, I have to replace them by a minus sign. It's a rule that we should always follow. Recopy and complete the following table. 3 times minus 7. 3 times 7 is 21, and we have minus 7, so I should write it. 2 times minus 7. 2 times 7 is 14, and here we have a negative sign. 1 times 7 is 7, and we have a negative sign here. 0 times minus 7, we know that any number multiplied by 0 is equal to 0. Now, minus 1 times minus 7. So what to do here? 1 times 7 is 7. And we have minus times minus, which is plus. Minus 2 times minus 7. 2 times 7 is 14. And the signs multiplied by each other, minus minus, it means a plus. So, to abbreviate, minus 2 times minus 7 equal to plus 14. Minus 2 is a negative number. Minus 7 is a negative number. Plus 14 is a positive. So the product of two negative numbers is a positive number. Wherever you see minus minus, there's parenthesis between them. It means they are multiplied by each other. So the result should be. Now, the steps to calculate. How can we abbreviate them? To multiply or divide signed numbers, we begin with sign by sign, then the number by number. For example, plus 2 times minus 3. Start by signs. Plus times minus, it's a minus. That's why I told you before, here, plus plus, same sign, I can replace them by a plus. Certainly, one of them should be inside a bracket. Minus minus is always plus. If we have the same sign and the numbers are multiplied by each other, I can replace them by a plus. While opposite signs, here for example, plus and minus is a minus. Then 6 divided by 3 is 2. Minus 3 times minus 5. Start by the sign. Minus minus plus. 3 times 5 is 15. Here also, minus minus, it's a plus. Same sign, plus. Opposite signs, minus. It's a rule. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Now, plus 10 times a plus 4, plus times plus, it's a plus. The product of two positive numbers is always positive. Now, 10 times 4 is 40. Plus 40 divided by plus 4, we have the same sign, so it's a plus, and 40 divided by 4 is 10. Now, minus 3 times a plus 7. You have opposite sign, so the answer should be negative. 3 times 7 is 21. Here you have opposite sign, minus and plus, so the answer should be negative. Now 21 divided by 7 is 3. Keep in your mind that when we have the same sign multiplied or divided by each other, they will give me the same result, which is positive. Why? If the signs are opposite, the answer will be negative. Square of a signed number. Plus 7 squared. It's plus 7 times plus 7. It's with exponent 2, power 2. So they are multiplied by, the number is multiplied by each other. Plus plus, same sign, so it's positive. 7 times 7 is 49. Minus 7 squared, it's minus 7 times minus 7. You have same sign here. Minus minus is plus, and 7 times 7 is 49. Plus 1.5 squared, plus 1.5 times plus 1.5, you have the same sign, so the answer should be positive. 1.5 times 1.5 is 2.25. Now, minus 1.5 squared, It's minus 1.5 times minus 1.5. Since you have the same sign multiplied by each other, the result should be positive, and 1.5 times 1.5 is 2.25. Now, what do you notice about the sign of the square of a signed number? Look to all the answers here. Plus 7 squared equals to minus 7 squared equal to 49. Also, plus 1.5 squared equal to minus 1.5 squared equal to plus 2.25. So, the square root of a signed number is always a positive number. Approach the division of two signed numbers. Plus 7 times how much equal to plus 14? Since I have the same sign, so the answer is plus. So I can say that the numbers multiplied by each other have the same sign. One of them is positive, so the other one is always positive. 7 times how much equal to 14? It's 7 times 2. Okay? Here we know that our answer, the missing number here is times 2. Now, plus 7 times how much equal to minus 14? The answer is negative, so the signs are opposite. 7 has a plus, so the missing number should be negative. 7 times how much equal to 14 times 2, so the missing number is 2. Now, third example. Minus 7 times how much equal to plus 14? The answer is positive, so they should have the same sign. One of them is negative, so the others should definitely be negative. And 7 times 2 is 14. The last one, we have a negative result, so the answers, the factors have opposite signs. One of them is negative, so the missing number here should be positive. And 7 times how much equal to 14? Times 2, so 7 times 2 equals to 14. Listen dear, two non-zero signed numbers are inverse or reciprocal. What do we mean by this? If their product is 1. The inverse of A is 1 over A, since A can be written as A over 1. The inverse means that I have to place the numerator in the place of the denominator and vice versa. So I can say that the inverse of A is 1 over A. Okay? So A times 1 over A equals to 1. Example, minus 2.5 times minus 0.4. We know that 1 is a result. Why? Because they have the same sign. Okay, so the answer should be positive. And 2.5 times 0.4 is 1. They are inverse numbers. Why? Because 1 over 2.5 is 0.4. To determine the sign of a product of many signed numbers, we count the negative factors. If the number is even, then the product is positive. For example, here, how to know the sign of the product of these numbers? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 negative numbers multiplied by each other, so the number is even, then the product is positive. If the number is odd, then the product is negative. For example, here, how many negative numbers do I have? 1, 2, 3. Why it's a negative? Since minus times minus plus. Their answer is plus, so plus times minus is minus. If the number of signs is odd, then the product is negative. Here, for another example, 1, 2. 3, 4, and 5. You have 5 negative numbers multiplied by themselves. So the number is odd. We have 5 negative factors. Our answer should definitely be negative. According to priority rules, I have to decompose into terms, calculate what's inside the parentheses, multiply or divide, then add or subtract. For example, let's solve A. 7 minus 3.5 divided by 7 minus 3 times minus 2. Here, the priority goes to division. So on the line, I have to write 7. What's the answer of 35 divided by 7? It's 5. What about the signs? Minus, minus, they have the same sign, so it should be positive. Now, on the other side, we have minus 3 times minus 2. Minus times minus is a plus. 3 times 2 is 6. So on the line, I should write 7 plus 5 plus 6, which is equal to 18. Another expression, start by multiplication. So on the line, I have to write minus 15 plus, what's the answer of multiplying minus 3 by minus 2? Same sign, so it should be positive. 3 times 2 is 6. Now, plus 5 times minus 4, same sign, so it should be positive. 5 times 4 is 20. 4 times 0.5, they are positive numbers, so their answer should be positive. 4 times 0.5 is 2, so on the line I have to write minus 15 plus 6 plus 20 plus 2, which is 13. Thank you for your attention.